So guys, it is officially the next day. Our ads ran all day yesterday plus all day today, and I pimped out the office a little bit. So hopefully this looks more, I want to say more professional, but hopefully the setup looks a little better on camera. So getting into the ads, we have a lot to break down. So reminder, our ads are spending $50 per day. We spent about 50 yesterday plus 50 today. So this view here is including both days combined. And whenever you're reading your data, it's important that you're analyzing all three of your ad creatives individually, because you'll see like this ad spent $11, this ad spent $36, this ad spent $51. So we want to look at our ads individual and see which video is performing the best, which videos are performing the worst, and then make our decisions from there. So quick reminder, make sure you have the correct columns from the other day. So our total cost, CPM, CPC, CTR, add to carts, purchases, cost per purchase, purchase ROAS. Now, what the F does all of this mean? So there's a lot to break down here. I put together a little Miro board for you guys, and we're first going to explain what each of these metrics mean. We're then going to break down what to do when looking at your ads, and we're going to explain how to actually read the data so you can make appropriate steps going forward. So with our metrics, we're first going to cover our CPM. So CPM means cost per mil, and mil is 1,000 in Spanish. So CPM is your cost per 1,000 impressions, aka the amount you pay to get 1,000 eyeballs, 1,000 views on your ad. Now these metrics here, by the way, like I gave you some like baselines for each of these, like a healthy, expensive for all the metrics. These apply only to TikTok. With Meta ads, it's going to be slightly different. Meta isn't as volatile as TikTok, meaning you got to be a little more patient. With TikTok, it's a bit more cutthroat, so we can move a little faster, essentially. So with that in mind, healthy CPMs are less than $10 on TikTok. Some products you'll have $4 to $6 CPMs. Give yourself a round of applause. That's fantastic. With some products though, if it's like a skincare product, a collagen mask, something with wrinkles, you might even get $20, $40 CPMs. And again, CPM is the cost per 1,000 views. So if you're paying $40 for 1,000 impressions versus less than $10, you can start to see how focusing on products that get lower CPMs are better. So quick reminder, like skincare, wrinkle-related products, collagen products are usually higher CPMs because they're health/supplements, whereas clothing products are more generic physical products like magnetic eyelashes or a makeup brush cleaner. Those are lower CPMs because they're a bit more broad. They're more compliant, meaning they're not as sketchy as some health products, and you can get more eyeballs, more bang for your buck. From there, we have our CPC. This is our cost per click. On TikTok, you want this less than $1. If you're only selling USA, less than $1.50, on the higher end. If it's above $1.50, like, oh shit, that's not good. That's bad. So what do you do if your CPC is high? We're going to cover that in just a moment. Click-through rate then. So CPC is how much we pay to get a click on our website. CTR is of all of the people who have seen our ad, what percentage of those people have actually clicked? So above 1% is good, above 2%, pretty godly. Less than 1% is usually a sign like, hey, we can get some better ad creatives flowing. Next, we have add to carts. So healthy add to carts are within 1/2 to 1/4 your break-even point. And we're going to calculate like what our break-even point is, so you have an idea of what you should range for. But you want add to carts in that range. So usually add to carts for every $4 to $10 on TikTok, with 10 being the high, 4 being the low. If you're not getting add to carts in that range, it means there's no buying intent. So we'll explain like what to do if you're not getting add to carts, because there could be a chance your ad sucks, so you're not getting enough clicks, but there could be a chance your ads are good, but your offer sucks, so nobody's adding to cart. So we'll explain that. From there, we have our cost per purchase. So essentially, you want to be getting sales on your website for less than your break-even point. So theoretical situation, let's say you have a $10 product, you're selling for $30. Well, a $30 selling price minus 10 cost of goods is a $20 break even point. So you would need to get sales within $20 to be profitable. And then our return on ad spend, our ROAS, is a little more of a higher level metric, but this is similar to our cost per purchase. But imagine this one scenario. Let's say you had a break even point of $20 for the buy one quantity. But what if that customer bought 2 or 3 units? Well, suddenly the amount of revenue they gave you is much higher compared to the buy one. So in some cases, you might have like a $20 cost per purchase. You might be like, it might look like you're breaking even at first, but then you look at the return on ad spend and you say, oh shit, this customer bought 3 or 4 units. So even though I paid $20 to get the sale, they bought 4 quantity, which means you made more revenue and more profit for that order. So that's your e-com dictionary. But what the F does this actually mean? How do we apply this when reading our own data? So what you first want to do is step 1, calculate your BEP, your break-even point, plus your BER, your break-even ROAS. So your break-even point is how much you need to spend to get a sale, essentially. So for this current product we're selling, which is our hood reminder, we're selling, well, I'll pull up the product page for you. I'll give you a quick refresher here. So we're selling one, $29.95 plus $4.95 shipping. And then if they buy 2, they get 1 free for $59.95, essentially. So when it comes to calculating our break-even point, we have $34.95, which is the cost of the selling price plus the shipping fee, minus our cost of goods, which is $11.41. And just a reminder, we were using AliExpress for the cost of goods because AutoDS was still getting us a quote. That quote takes like 1-2 days to get. It should be ready maybe tomorrow. So our cost of goods could be even lower than $11.41. And it's also worth noting this $11.41 was only for the red variant, where the black and gray were like $9 to ship out. So with that all said, we need to get sales for less than $23. If it's the black or gray variant, maybe it's $24, $25, we get a little wiggle room, but less than $23 means we are good to go. So we need to get purchases every $23 on our ads. But the next metric is our break-even ROAS. So your ROAS is your return on ad spend. So if you spend $1 and your ROAS is $3, that means for every dollar you spend, you get $3 back. So we need to calculate our break-even ROAS, meaning what is the minimum amount just to break even. So that formula is your selling price minus or divided by your break-even point. So we have $34.95 divided by $23.49, our break-even point. That gives us 1.48. So the ROAS is just a decimal. On our ad account, you see it at the end here. So if this is above 1.48, that means we're profitable. If it's below that, that means we're losing money. And with our cost per purchase, again, our cost per purchase is around $20 or $23. So this is less than $23. That means it's profitable. But more importantly, you want to look at the ROAS because not every customer just buys 1 unit. Some people buy 2x, some people buy 3x. So your cost per purchase may show you like, oh, I'm breaking even, but you look at how much money you actually made and you're going to be stacking profits on top of that. And I just want to note that. So now here's how to actually run your ads. So day number 1, you let your ads go the full 24 hours. If you're profitable, we're going to come to the right here. So if our ads are profitable, and that's kind of how our ads are now. We're going to break this down in a moment. But if your ads are profitable, what you're going to do is leave the winning ads on. The ads that are profitable, leave on. The ads that are losing money that don't meet the criteria, you can disable. So after a full day, if you have an ad that's winning, leave that on. Then you can disable the losing ads and then just let that run, essentially. And if you're still profitable with your winning ad running, every 2 to 3 days, you can go from a $50 budget to a $100 budget to a $250 budget to a $500 budget. So every 2 to 3 days, increase your budget. Spend more on what's working, but also if you have ads that are underperforming, you can turn those off and add new ads in. So every 2 to 3 days, focus on adding in more ad creatives, launch some new campaigns, and don't just focus on the testing CBO I gave you. What if an ABO outperforms that? So if you get profits in the early stage, you want to split test everything, CBO, ABO, bids, and you want to double down on what's working the best. On top of that, you can start to surf scale your budgets. So In the beginning, like we take scaling slow. And I think this is an important lesson for you guys. You watch YouTube, you're in communities, you see people hitting 10K days, 100K days, and you feel insignificant. But you must understand scaling is a slow process. With TikTok, we do have the ability to serve scale, but usually you want to let your ads run for 2 to 3 days, let them collect data, analyze that, and then make your decisions going forward. When you see people hitting a 10K day, understand they're spending 3K on ads and 3K to fulfill orders. So if you don't have $6,000 in your bank account or a $6,000 credit line with a credit card, you are not currently capable to hit a 10K day. And it's just that a lot of your perception of e-commerce is totally warped. You see all these incredible wins online, and it's good you're ambitious and that you're achieving that, but it's understanding like shit. Scaling is a slow process. Every 2 to 3 days, I can do a bit more, and then eventually I'll hit that point. But when you see a win online, you're not seeing all the trial and error, all the budget bumps, all the iterations that led to that point. And as a result, a lot of you guys feel inferior for not hitting gold off the bat, but understand this is a step-by-step process that you need to slowly build up, every 2 to 3 days. So if you're profitable, we talked about what to do, but understand if you're not profitable, then you got to decide like what the F is the best next step. So if you're looking at your metrics, maybe you don't have added carts within the range. So you're saying, okay, I'm not getting buying intent. So before you tweak the offer, let's look at our cost per click. Are we getting, clicks within our appropriate range? If the answer is no, we need new ads. But if we're getting appropriate clicks within our cost per click range, then maybe we need a new offer. And once you guys have lost $100 to $150 on a product, I would cut it and move on. And that's not $100 ad spend. What that is it's your total revenue subtracted by your total ad spend, subtracted by your cost to fulfill the orders. Some products you may be in the testing phase up to a week because it's consistently breaking even. If that's the case, don't kill the product. Try new offers, try new product pages, try new angles, try new ads because the product is so close. But once you're negative after all expenses, 100 to 150, I would cut the product and move on, because still, for me to this day, it takes me 4 to 6 products to get a winner. So with that math in mind, if you can spend 100 to 150 per product and it takes you 4 to 6 products to get a winner, you can get a winning product for less than $1,000. As crazy as that sounds, you can change your life with less than 1K if you commit to e-com, because you'll have a few failed products, but it just takes one to recoup whatever losses you had up until this point and to give you the momentum to actually start scaling up and hitting some profits. And real quick, before I take you through our TikTok metrics and the profit loss, one of my boys is arriving. He's coming by to the apartment real quick. So we're going to have a quick chat, but we'll be back in a little bit, and then we'll finish off the update. I'm filming like a 3-hour course, bro. Yeah. This is Tevin. Tevin does real estate. He's a baller.
What's going on?
You're down
Where's
there.
the camera?
You're in the camera's here, bro, but you can see yourself right there.
What's going on, man? My name is Tevin Jackson, and Anthony Eclipse is the man.
Give him a value bomb, brother. Yeah. Get in the seat, bro. Get in the hot seat.
A value bomb?
Yeah, Tevin does real estate. We do e-com, but yeah, tell him, how can they give him one piece of advice?
Forced depreciation is the key to financial freedom.
Okay. That's easy. We'll let them figure that